Hey everyone, it's time for another video blog. I am fresh off of social media marketing world. I got to go and had a great time this past week. And of course, in social media marketing, they are all talking about video and how great it is. So if you have not checked it out yet, I did do a Facebook Live this morning, and I am planning on doing more Facebook Lives on Tuesdays. We'll see if that time works for everybody, but I am really looking forward to doing some more things again where I can interact with all of you. So I've been doing these podcast notes, and I put a lot of links in the podcast notes and really get something in there that I hope gives you extra meat and reference any of the videos we watch and all of that. So I want to have those on there. However, I have had this and the blog posts, and so then I kind of took away blogs and am working on some lengthier blog pieces that don't come out every week. And so I'm looking at some ways to kind of twist the show notes to be more than just show notes and to actually include some other fun stuff like videos. We did videotape the podcast this week and recorded it, so we had we had live video for it as well. And unfortunately, I did not have the mics set up correctly for the video part of it. So as much as I would love to share it, you can't really hear me in the video. So trial and error, we'll keep trying, but I'm kind of playing with the idea of allowing for a little bit more of the behind the scenes and kind of having the raw footage for the podcast episodes, or just adding a little extra like this video in the podcast notes for this week. So on the podcast, we talked about credibility, and I want to tell you, it doesn't matter what type of teacher or what type of schooling your child is doing, whether they are in public school or private school or unschooled or homeschooled or any variation of those. Like it or not, you are your child's teacher. And not only that, you are a teacher to everyone you meet. We all have the power to learn from each other. And when you ask our girls, they say, where do you go to school? Everywhere. Who's your teacher? Everyone. And that's true for all of us. And in this season, we're talking about functional education, this concept that it doesn't begin and end in a brick classroom or when you graduate from high school or from college, but that it is a lifelong process that encompasses all aspects of who we are. It's a mind, body, soul approach. It's integrating learning and a growth mindset in every aspect of our lives, no matter if you're 2 or if you're 102. It's really being open to what you can learn. And that's what we talk about and dig into in the podcast this week. We want to empower you as parents, to give you guys some confidence and some affirmation that you don't have to be an expert on everything. I posted a meme recently that said, I was an expert on parenting, ... and then I had kids. And I think that's so true. We don't know, and every child is different. We're figuring out a whole new personality as they're figuring it out and developing it themselves. That's a long process that we cannot just expect to go a certain way. And that's where grace and understanding and flexibility comes in. And it's so needed, especially as we're going through this educational journey. So grow with your kids. The challenge for the podcast this week is to have just an open conversation with your children. Just ask, I said on the podcast, and it's a hoot to do this, ask your 5-year-old, what do you think about this current state of affairs? Just see where it goes from. Ask a question like you are interviewing a very prominent figure who knows a whole lot about a whole lot of things. Ask a question of your children about a topic that is a new topic, and just see what opens up. What path do you go down? What do you explore together? I had the opportunity to do that with Claire the other day, and we ended up going down a whole bunny trail about taxonomy and learning all about it. So just have a conversation. Put aside Google and everything else and just talk first. You can dive in and you can learn and grow together, but just talk first with your children and see where the conversation leads you. So check out the podcast, give me feedback, and ask questions, because as we're going in next week, we're going to dive in a little bit more to the different styles of learning, and I'm going to talk a lot about my lifelong learner snapshot and all the different ways that we can even think and process, which is really cool. I want to know, what are you struggling with? What's going on in your home that is frustrating right now, where you are feeling like maybe you're hitting a roadblock, or where are you second guessing yourself when it comes to education and your children? Or share with me a success story of something, a new tactic, a new way of learning that you have done with your child. Share with me your stories so that I can so that we can potentially even add them to the podcast. And of course, if we do add them to the podcast, then if we add you to the podcast and we reference your question, then I will be sending one of these Mama Stay, the Mama in Me Sees the Mama in You shirts your way. I'm really excited about these. I just ordered a new batch that's going to have my logo right back here on the back shoulder. So I'm excited about the shirts. I've already been able to send out 5 shirts to different people who have commented on the podcast. And I love doing that. And I want to see you guys in your shirts. So hashtag @MamaSaysNamaste and share your pictures as well. Hope you have a wonderful week. Make sure that you have those open conversations in your household this week to really pursue that functional education concept of being a lifelong learner and being the example of having that growth mindset and being open to what you can learn together. Pave the way, be your child's guide or their expert explorer or their lead explorer, and see where it takes you this week. Remember, the uniqueness in each of us strengthens all of us. Namaste.